How far back does human history go? Roughly 500 years ago, Christopher Columbus sailed to the New World. It's been over 2,000 years since the birth of Christ. 4,500 years since the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. 10,000 years since the end of the last ice age. 40,000 years since the Neanderthals last walked on the planet. 1 million years since humans discovered how to make fire. 4 million years since human ancestors began walking on two legs. How do we explain a human artifact that is over 400 million years old? In today's episode, we will look into the case of the mysterious London hammer. In 1936, 39-year-old Max Hahn was living with his wife Emma in the central Texas town of London. One hot afternoon, the couple decided to take a walk along the nearby Red Creek. As they approached a small waterfall, the couple decided to pause and enjoy the sights and sounds of their beautiful surroundings. As they sat on the bank admiring the waterfall, Emma noticed a rock by her feet with what looked like wood growing out of it. She pointed it out to Max, who picked up the rock to examine it more closely. Thinking it rather odd and interesting, the couple kept the rock and brought it home with them. Upon arriving home, Max showed the rock to his 14-year-old son George, who became fascinated with it. The rock remained in the house for the next 12 years. George, now aged 26, had always been fascinated by the stone, and at this point could no longer contain his curiosity. George took a hammer and chisel to the rock and cracked it open. What George found inside the rock was a metallic hammerhead to which a wooden handle was attached. The family kept the curious object displayed in their house and showed it off to friends and neighbors when they would come to visit. In 1983, the rock was purchased by Carl Baugh, who had the artifact analyzed. The metallic hammerhead measures 6 inches in length, with a diameter of roughly 1 inch. Analysis of the metal has confirmed to be 96.6% iron, 2.6% chlorine, and 0.7% sulfur. The wooden handle appears to have broken off where it protrudes from the rock. The handle shows darkened areas that have partially been turned to coal. The rock itself is made up of limestone, and it matches the type of rock in the Red Creek area. The limestone in the Red Creek area is said to date back over 400 million years. How is it possible that an obviously human-made object become embedded inside a 400 million year old rock? In an attempt to solve this mystery, we will look into the background of the artifact's current owner, Carl Edward Baugh. Born in Kennedy, Texas in 1936, Baugh graduated from Abilene High School in 1955. He was also a graduate of Pacific International University, which has since been reported to be an unaccredited conservative Christian diploma mill. In 1984, after acquiring the London hammer, Baugh opened the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas. A self-described young Earth creationist, Baugh claims to have discovered human footprints alongside dinosaur footprints near the Paluxy River in Texas. In 1984, Baugh paid $10,000 for human remains discovered in an azurite mine in Utah. Known as the Moab Man, the remains were dated to be 300 to 500 years old. Baugh displayed the Moab skeleton in his museum and claimed that it was from the Cretaceous period, making it over 66 million years old. As for the London hammer, while it is true that the limestone in the Red Creek area does date back hundreds of millions of years, and the limestone of the artifact is of the same age, scientists have theorized that the minerals dissolved from the surrounding rocks formed a concretion around the hammer. This process can happen relatively quickly, even in a matter of decades. Examples of this have even been found in some World War II artifacts. Meanwhile, Baugh refuses to allow detailed scientific study of the artifact, claiming that current methods used to date items, including radiocarbon dating, are flawed. Although intriguing, without further scientific investigation, the truth behind the artifact known as the London Hammer will remain a mystery.